Good morning, everyone. Good morning, moderator. And let me at the outset take this opportunity to thank Andrew and Business Advantage, the conference organizers, for this opportunity to come and share with the participants some of the developments in the foreign investment front, as long as PNG is involved, and also to share with you some of the things that we are doing to seize the challenges and turn them into opportunities for Papua New Guinea as an economy. I think it's a known fact, and we accept that COVID-19 has deeply shocked the world economy, and the global investment plummeted accordingly. PNG has not been spared, and like the global developments, as we know, the numbers are around between 35 to 40% slump in the global foreign direct investment flows, and times are tough and challenging. In the PNG context, PNG has experienced a downturn in FDIs, just like other countries, mainly due to the restrictions in the movement of people and closing down of borders. This is not to say that there has not been any FDIs or interest coming in. At the IPA, we maintain a foreign enterprise certification process, which requires all foreign investors to apply for foreign certification before doing business in PNG. And this comes after initially incorporating your entity to conduct business in PNG. So I'll share with you some figures. Through our foreign certification statistics, as of June 2021, 6.3 million kina worth of new FDIs came in the first quarter of 2021. Out of that 6.3 million investment, 36% are actually new interest coming in. Existing investments through variations, and variations is a process where existing companies or businesses in the country either diversify or expand and go into new activities. This amounted to about 64%. So there's a lot of activities happening within PNG in terms of foreign businesses in the country. Wholesale and retail continues to be the leading sector of interest, followed closely by the mining and petroleum, construction, and real estate. Generally, there was more decline in sectors such as finance, forestry, ICT, engineering, manufacturing, health, and energy. In terms of new investment trends as an outcome of COVID-19, the investment statistics given shows that the new investment trends is the diversification, as I mentioned earlier, and or expansion of existing investments in the country. In a bid to survive, businesses who have already established in the country expanded to other provinces or sectors to take advantage of the opportunities there. One could probably say that this could also be a direct result of the lack of foreign currency. Thus, companies were left with a lot of cash liquidity, and therefore explored opportunities within the country as opposed to remitting funds overseas, given the challenges with foreign currency. So given the above scenario, again, according to our data, the lead investors by country remain to be China, followed by Australia and Malaysia, in that order. Having given you some ideas on what is happening in terms of FDI within PNG, I think there is also some good that came out of the COVID-19 challenges. as an investment promotion agency of government, this has allowed us to look at ourselves within, and also as an organization, look at our processes, our systems, our policies, legislative reforms, and so forth. So we have done a fair bit of work in that front. Given the current investment trends, we are now focusing more on collaborating with other key regulatory agencies and stakeholders through MOUs, signing of memorandum of understandings, to promote programs and events that will facilitate investor confidence and encourage reinvestment in the country. As well as that, I did mention some of the legislative reforms that we are doing. We are grateful that the government, about 4 weeks ago, finally approved, the Cabinet finally approved the amendments to the Investment Promotion Act, which is aimed at boosting investor confidence and at the same time develop our SME sector. As well as the investment promotion amendments, we are grateful for the support of the government. Cabinet has also approved changes to the Associations and Corporations Act of 1966, minor amendments to the Companies Act, as well as minor amendments to the Business Groups Act. As we speak, these are going through due process and are now with the First Legislative Council before they are tabled to Parliament, hopefully in the November session. From the investment promotion perspective, we continue to explore meaningful ways and effective ways in which we can promote opportunities in PNG. In doing so, we have signed off, I signed off on an MOU with the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, who will assist us build our capacities and those of the other economic stakeholders to facilitate investment promotion in that front. Investment promotion roadshows. I think we've heard about the Dubai Expo, the IPA, like other agencies, Tourism Promotion Authority, Department of Information and Communication Technology, Department of Foreign Affairs and International Trade. We are working very closely to seize that opportunity in promoting PNG as an investment destination. We are hopeful that towards the later part of this year to have a PNG, the second PNG EU Business Conference. And of course, work is progressing really well with our collaboration with the Business Council of PNG in planning the investment week through a B2B interactions. Recently, an interesting agenda by government has been the passing by Parliament of a new legislation establishing the Special Economic Zones Authority, which is one of the key enablers of attracting investments into the country, and also to regulate the establishment and development of the special economic zones. I must admit that whilst this is not directly under the IPA, I think it's good to raise it now, and then that there is this opportunity for foreign investors to explore. Having access to reliable utilities has become one of the main concerns and setback for FDIs, and thus the establishment of the SEZ will address such issues. We are aware that the government has made some announcements of some zones around the country, and some of which are the Pacific Marine Industrial Zone in Medang Province, the proposed Ihu Special Economic Zone in the Gulf Province, and I believe there's a presentation to be done during the conference. The West Sepik Special Economic Zone and the Vanimo Free Trade Zone, proposal for Manus to be a tax-free special economic zone, the Bana Special Economic Zone in Bougainville, the Morobe Province Special Economic Zone, and of course the Paga Hill Estate Tourism Special Economic Zone in Port Moresby. So these are some of the locations that could be of interest for potential investors to explore. And discussions could initially be started with the IPA, and we can link you up with the relevant authorities that look after those zones. Some of the things that some of the positives as to why PNG remains a competitive investment destination are, firstly, I think we are dominant. We have a dominant extractive and resources sector, and we will hear again from the presentations in the next 2 days on this. We are a growing economy with a lot of untapped opportunities, both in the non-renewable as well as in the renewable sector. More than 70% of the total active and productive population is readily available for labor engagement. Government is investing in key infrastructure and economic enablers to grow the economy for the next 10 to 20 years. The government is focused on streamlining and improving key business legislations, some of which I outlined earlier, and there are others that are being done by other respective economic agencies, as well as government in general, to develop a competitive domestic market for business and industry growth. With the government's key focus on the promotion of the SME sector to involve Papua New Guineans, there are abundant opportunities out there in the international export market space. However, there are also challenges that we need to take care of internally for our players in the industries. In terms of the effective trade agreements that may be beneficial for PNG, the European Union tops the list with the Interim Economic Partnership Agreement, the IEPA, that is successfully benefiting our fisheries sector and also gives equal opportunity for about 30 other products listed as duty-free. Second, just recently, about a year or two ago, we managed to secure the mainland Chinese market by way of market access for our fisheries products through negotiations by the PNG National Fisheries Authority and the IPA. I think the participants are well aware of the U.S. preferential general preferential scheme program, which is also another market opportunity. The U.S. GSP promotes economic growth and development in the developing world. GSP promotes sustainable development in beneficiary countries by helping these countries to increase and diversify their trade with the United States. Therefore, PNG must be able to work with our bilateral partners, firstly at the government-to-government level, by start addressing market access issues. In terms of key markets from the records for PNG products, I'll give you an example of some of the markets being accessed on what we have on record. The Japanese market, there are opportunities for value-added coconut products, coffee, green bean, pirate rum, garlic nut, honey. For the New Zealand market, some of the work that we have been doing with the Pacific Islands Trade and Investment, a branch of the Pacific Islands Forum Secretariat based out of New Zealand. We've been doing some work on the virgin coconut oil, VCO, and infused VCO, frozen agricultural produce, including cassava, vanilla essence, seafood, fishery products. Part of the success of that work that we are doing with the New Zealand Pacific Islands office is a part-to-market training program that we have been doing over the years with identified export-ready SMEs. Australia, of course, tried cured vanilla extract, seafood, fishery products. China, pine, eucalyptus and hardwood chip, seafood, fishery products, coffee, vanilla. There are some exports going into Vanuatu in terms of spices, vanilla and dried cured vanilla, and of course US coconut sugar. In conclusion, The IPA continues to focus its key deliverables on government priorities while at the same time considering private sector demands. The IP amendments will serve as a key driver in improving the current investment environment. We look forward to continuing to work with the private sector as a government intermediary agency, and I will be ready to take on questions if there are any. Thank you very much.